All right, we start out with this. An iconic church in Marshall, steeped in nearly 200 years of history, was destroyed by a massive fire last night.
KETK's Rachel Davis shows us what is left of this 185-year-old church.
Oh, it was heartbreaking.
The First United Methodist Church is a place Marshall resident Juan Vasquez raised his family.
My children were baptized here. Now I work here. I've been here 5 years. So it's pretty well a part of my life.
The sanctuary is reduced to rubble after a devastating fire overnight. Senior pastor David Lukert said he's been on the scene since early morning.
We see them on the news. It's happened to somebody else, and we feel for them, and we try to reach out to them in whatever way we can. And we're almost glad it wasn't us, because we don't know how that would impact us. And then all of a sudden, it is you.
Authorities arrived shortly beforehand.
Fire crews arrived on scene around 1:15 to 1:20 this morning. When they arrived, they had heavy fire already.
The fire consumed the building and filled the streets with smoke.
The problem is that these older structures, this is a heavy timber construction building, and these older structures, they're really good at holding in heat and smoke and fire.
And it wasn't until daylight broke over Marshall the true extent of the damage could be seen.
A building of this size and with this extensive damage, it will smolder for a while.
Marshall fire crews will continue to monitor the scene overnight, where a beautiful sanctuary, now lined with charred pews and hot spots, and a once magnificent piece of national and Texas history, is left smoldering with no known cause. Rachel Davis, KETK News.
This historic church is a staple to downtown Marshall and a huge loss for that community. The church is listed as a National Historic Place and Texas Historical Landmark. According to researchers at Stephen F. Austin State University, the building is one of the few monumentally scaled Greek Revival churches in Texas. The building also played a role during the Civil War as an ammunition storage facility and served as a meeting place for leaders of the South during the war.
And as firefighters continue to put out the hot spots at this historic Marshall church, many people stopped by today just as the walls came crashing down.
KETK's Ashlyn Anderson was there and has how the community is rallying behind this church.
The call came in around 2 o'clock this morning, and since then the entire Marshall community has been here at the scene, comforting each other and finding any way they can to support this church body.
Everything will work out okay. We'll miss it a lot.
Members of the First United Methodist Church are left in shock as many of them stand just feet away from their historic church that's now been reduced to ashes.
It's a lot to let go of, but I really believe from the ashes there will be new creation. A lot of good things will evolve from this.
As smoke continued to fill the air well into Monday night in downtown Marshall, it did not stop local congregations from checking on their community and extending a helping hand to this church body.
Asked if they had any needs and just wanted to reach out to them and let them know we were here for them if they needed anything.
Nicole Angeles didn't attend United Methodist, but says it doesn't matter where you worship, she will still find ways to serve those impacted by a tragedy like this one.
Our elders got together and they're planning an emergency meeting to see what they can do to serve this church family, and I'm sure anything they need we'd be willing to help. We've offered to come down and volunteer if they need it, and so I think that's the mentality of most of the community.
Bonnie Timmons and her family have been members since the 1920s, and while they're devastated about this fire, they tell me they're in awe of how the community was immediately ready to embrace them.
Oh, it's wonderful. People have come with open arms and offered everything, a place for us to hold services.
While debris and wreckage has consumed First United Methodist, it has not overshadowed the Marshall community, united with support and love. Now, this will be a long fight, but the community and local congregations say they will continue to help in any way they can, especially with Christmas just around the corner. In Marshall, Ashlyn Anderson, KETK News.